Jolan True, everyone, and welcome to the Tethys Shipyards. I am Takeshi Yamato, the Yardmaster, joining our host, the Housecoat Gamer.
Yo.
Today, we are taking a look at the Dhelan Warbird, which has been explicitly stated by Cryptic as a motion picture era version of a motion picture era warbird for the Romulan Star Empire.
Essentially the Romulan Excelsior.
Yes. And this is where we start seeing the Romulan design aesthetic start to shift from the painted avian images on more basic starship designs to just being an outright avian design. And we've got a few different variations of this thing. Straight wing, slightly curved wing, and full curve. I mean, yeah, that looks a bit like the Archive we did last time, and the Dideridex, don't you think?
Now you see where my logic comes from.
Yeah.
Of course, unlike the Archive, this will not be using a singularity drive.
Yes. We are thinking that the Romulans, I don't think, ever used matter-antimatter reactors, but instead...
They had them.
Huh. Alright, fair enough.
Stormbird.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got them from the Klingons.
Yep.
But, apart from those, I think they probably mainly used standard fusion generators or something.
We could call this an experimental design, utilizing a Klingon-derived matter-antimatter reactor.
Right.
Retrofit designs used by the Romulan Republic, as this thing never really entered production, were probably retrofit with singularity drives scavenged from everywhere.
Yep.
Let's be honest, the Star Navy wasn't exactly in the best shape after Hobus decided to go kaboom.
Yep. So, first up, entered service date.
Technically, it never did.
Yes. But, assuming there had to be at least a prototype. And maybe a couple extra ships. We will say
demonstrators. What can you do?
Yep. So we will say they entered service around 2290?
2280.
2280. Okay.
The Excelsior program had been going on for a long time.
Fair enough. So 2280. And scale.
I'd have to say 4. This was designed as a kind of counterpart to the Constitution and a counterpunch to the Excelsior.
Alright. Scale 4. That's its tractor beam at strength 3. And so we have 48 points to work with. We will start by putting 8 points in everything, and then modify things as needed. That's a nice baseline to work with, just distributing points as evenly as possible and then modifying from there. Okay, so 8 points in everything. Now, Romulans say this thing should right now. The book says Romulans have a focus in comms and sensors, but I would also say, well, I think Engines 8 is fine for the era. It's just a nice average. I would maybe drop the structure down to 7.
This is a prototype ship, and there are going to be teething issues.
Yeah.
This is technically the first warbird ever built.
Yeah. So structure down to 7, and we'll put sensors up to 9. So right now we have comms 8, computers 8, engines 8, sensors 9, structure 7, weapons 8.
I'd bump weapons up a little. This thing is designed to tangle with Excelsior-class starships.
Alright, weapons 9. Need to take a point from somewhere. Probably either engines or computers.
I would say engines.
Alright.
After all, those computers are going to be needed to manage the technology the Romulans have no idea how to really manage. The warp core.
Yep, fair enough. Now, departments.
Engineering.
Alright, at least 1 point in engineering.
You're going to see that with technology demonstrators.
Yep. So, just a quick recap. Final systems points. Comms 8, computers 8, engine 7, sensors 9, structure 7, weapons 9. Now, departments. 1 point in engineering. We got 2 points left to spend. I'd say maybe 1 point in science at least.
Romulans.
Yeah. Now, we could do con, security, or a 2nd point in engineering.
Con. While this isn't exactly the biggest ship of the lot,
it is still fairly maneuverable.
Exactly. In fact, considering some design elements, I'd say this thing could actually turn a little tighter than the Constitution-class, which I presume was the point.
Yep. So, now we go to talents. Cloaking device, obviously.
Romulan.
Yeah. Now, I'd say we have room for 1 more talent.
Warp core technology demonstrator?
Well, something to represent that. That warp core technology demonstrator would be a trait, a descriptor. So we could do improved power systems, basically just improving power regen, or we could do improved warp drive.
I would have to say warp drive. There are a lot of customizable nacelles on this thing.
Right. So, improved warp.
Or at least there used to be.
Yeah. Now, weapons. I would say disruptor cannons.
Disruptors and plasma torpedoes, as usual.
Yeah. Yeah. Disruptor cannon.
Romulan.
Yeah. Disruptor cannons and plasma torpedoes. Do we want disruptor banks as well as cannons?
Probably. Every ship can mount both standard beams and cannons. Just look at the Von Talk-Class. Those disruptor cannon ports could still fire sustained beams as well as the good old bolts.
Yep, fair enough. Alright, so traits, Romulan Warbird, Warp Core Technology Demonstrator. Warp Core Technology Demonstrator. Okay. I think that is good for the Dhelan, don't you? I can't
Good.
see any.
I don't
I
see
can't.
anything that needs to be done.
Yep. So now we move on to basically a more modern variant, the Hathos.
Figured I'd show this first. Yeah.
Is that the Dehal?
Yep.
Yeah.
It needs
Ooh.
work. It's
Yeah.
garish.
Yeah. And now we have the Hathos, and oh wow.
I'd say the Remans had some fun with this one.
Yeah, this thing is probably. Yeah, this thing is definitely a Riemann designed ship. The Riemans took the idea of the Dhelan and modernized it. Let me set up my document for it real quick. Okay, Hathos. There we go. There's the image.
Ugh.
Hathos. And we'll give right now we'll say the traits I'm thinking. Right, the traits I have for this thing right now are Romulan Warbird and Riemann built.
I would have to say rugged. I mean, look at this thing. This thing is angular. It is simple. It's easy to maintain. Quantum singularity notwithstanding.
Yeah, that will be a trait, a talent, rugged design. Rugged design. So basically, we're yeah. All right. So now we're going to so for an entered service date, we shift this thing from 2280 to I'd say 2407 at least.
Yeah.
So
Remans are experimenting. They find a couple of mothballed Dhelans. They like the concept, but
yeah.
they decide, screw this Romulan crap. We're gonna marry it to our concepts. And what was the warbird we had? The Scimitar.
Yeah.
So this is a
yeah. This is going
child of a Scimitar and a Dhelan.
Yeah.
Minus the whole.
Yeah. Minus the whole Thaleron pulse generator of doom. Anyway, so we'll keep it at scale 4. So this means now we have 60 points to work with.
I'd say a general spread of the same. After all, this fills the same role.
Right.
That said, it's going to be a little more gun heavy because this thing is a baby scimitar.
Yeah. So basically we're going to just basically upgrading everything we had, upgrading the Dhelan to match the Hathos from the Dhelan. We would have comms 10, computers 10, engines 9, sensors 11, structure 9, weapons 11.
Don't forget the fact that this thing has a quantum singularity drive over the...
Yeah. I'll drop comms down to 9 and put engines at 10. This thing isn't quite as much yeah, in fact, I think I'll drop sensors down to 9 to give this thing engines 11 and weapons 12. This thing is much less a recon bird. This is a destroyer. This is a gunboat. This is meant to get in fast, blow the enemy to hell and back, and then get out.
And considering this thing is a baby scimitar, it has the scimitar's cloak.
Ooh. All right. That means I'm going to have to get into some of the Tethys Shipyard articles from Continuing Mission to talk about that. All right.
Of course, it's probably not going to be as great as the Scimitar's cloak. It probably can't fire when cloaked, but you're not going to find it.
Yeah. All right. So, comms 9, computers 10, engines 11, sensors 9, structure 9, weapons 12. Does that look good?
It's good enough.
All right. Apartments. I think we're just going to make this thing. We're just going to go whole hog on the combat. 2 points in security, 1 point in con.
You're going to die, and
Yes.
you don't have any say in it.
Yes. Now, talents, cloaking device, rugged design.
We're really going to have to modify that cloaking device one.
Well, that will be like a special. The cloaking device will require a special rule. So, weapons. Basically the same as the Dhelan. Disruptor cannons, disruptor banks, plasma torpedoes, strength 3 tractor beam.
I'd add photon torpedoes to that as well. The Scimitar had photon launchers.
Photon. Plasma torpedoes, photon torpedoes. Well, actually, I'll put the photons before the plasmas. Photon torpedoes and plasma torpedoes. Okay. Now, talent. Now, the traits, Romulan Warbird, Riemann built. Now for special rule. Special rules. Apologies to ELH if you are watching this video. Where I really liked your idea for the Scimitar's cloak, and I'm going to at least modify it.
So, if it works.
Yeah. So let me find the article. Space frame. Okay.
And seriously, this thing is a baby Scimitar.
Yeah. Let's see. Antares Shipyards. Scimitar. Okay. He gave this thing the special rule perfect cloak. While under cloak, the Scimitar class can attempt attacks, go to warp, and or maintain its shielding. However, there are 2 ways of piercing this cloak and becoming available to attack the Scimitar. The first is by firing randomly, a control plus security assisted by the ship's weapon security at a difficulty of 5. The second is by tasking the computer to analyze where the Scimitar is firing from after it has made an attack. This involves a reason plus security assisted by the ship's computer's security at a difficulty of 4. In either event, succeeding on those tasks exposes the Scimitar and allows it to be targeted by attacks. Because, well, while you can't really find it normally, you don't want it. It's not supposed to be an I win at stealth forever button. It's just really hard to spot. So, I would say maybe not perfect cloak, but enhanced Riemann cloak is what we'll call ours. Enhanced Riemann cloak.
While not as capable as the Scimitar, this vessel, well, it has the same perfect cloak as the Scimitar class. It cannot fire its weapons while cloaked. It must decloak to fire.
Yes. But otherwise, it can go to warp and maybe maintain its shielding while cloaked.
The shielding you can use at your own recognizance. After all,
yes.
This is a lot smaller than the Scimitar.
Yes. So, we will say, while under cloak, the Hathos-Class can go to warp, and I will put and maintain its shielding and/or maintain its shielding in parentheses. However, there is a way. There is a way of piercing this cloak and becoming able to attack the Hathos. This is by firing randomly. A control plus security assisted by the ship's weapon security at a difficulty of 5.
Good luck.
Yeah. Succeeding at the this task exposes the Hathos and allows it to be targeted by attacks. Alright. I think that works.
Indeed it does. Have fun. That's all I can say. Because
yeah.
It's a Riemann warbird. It's a baby scimitar. It can't kill you while it's cloaked, but you're not going to find it.
Yeah. It can't kill you while it's cloaked, but you are not going to find it until it wants to be found. Unless you see it cloaking and then decide to just fire randomly, and in the immortal words of Catherine Janeway, keep firing until you hit something. Yeah.
Fire everything. I should go watch that later. It's funny.
Yes. Yes. The definitive Voyager torpedo inventory log. I mean, Voyager did have its problems, but, well, it was a symptom of the times.
It was a symptom of not thinking, oh, we're stuck in the Delta Quadrant. Maybe we should include plot lines to go. Maybe we should make an episode dedicated to resupplying photon torpedoes.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's the Hathos and the Dhelan.
Yep. As usual, I will provide links to documents for both in the description. And I will also see about coming up with NPC stat blocks so that even if you don't use them as a PC ship, as a player ship, you can still add them to your story as possible Romulan vessels.
Or Riemann.
Yeah, or Riemann.
Bye.